Hey guys, Eric with Blue Line Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. Your time's important to me, and what we're going to do in today's time is we're going to take a look at this Quantum Accurist bait casting reel. We're also going to put some line on it, take it out of the water, put it through its paces, and we're going to see what this reel can do, and we're going to see what we think about this reel at that $100 price point. So stick with me. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay guys, let's get into it. This is the Quantum Accurist baitcasting reel. Not new to the market, but it's new to me as far as this particular model of quantum reel. It's one I've wanted to fish for quite some time actually. I've tried a lot of different reels, but I've heard a lot of good things about the Accurist, so I wanted to see for myself. I actually bought two of these reels. This model in particular is in the 6.3 to 1 gear ratio. I have another one that I'll show you here in a minute, and the only difference is the bright green color on it, and then the gear ratio on that one, which is 7.0 to 1. Okay guys, let's get into it and check it out. Before we do, we'll hit some of the basic specs on it, and the first thing being this particular reel, the gear ratio on it is 6.3 to 1. And if you're not familiar with gear ratios and exactly what they mean, what that means is there'll be an IPT rating on them, and that just means inches per handle turn. So for every complete revolution of the reel handle, so one complete revolution like that, this particular reel is going to bring in approximately 27 inches of line. The other reel that I was telling you about that I have, it's going to bring in, it's 7.0 to 1 on the gear ratio. It's going to bring in approximately 29 inches of line per handle turn. Okay guys, I wanted to show you this other Quantum Accurist that I've got. It's this bright lime green color compared to the white. The only difference besides the color is this is the 6.3 to 1 gear ratio and this is the 7.0. So that's the only difference in these two reels right here. All right guys, let's get down to nuts and bolts on this. First things first, we'll start with the side of the reel, the reel handle and the paddles. Love the reel handle and the paddles on this because they're a little bit oversized. So for me, I have bigger hands. That's going to make it easier for me. Also, it's going to produce a little bit more torque as you're reeling with that, and it is really smooth. The paddles, I haven't put any hot sauce, quantum hot sauce or anything like that, any other lubricant on this so far, and it's just very smooth handle turn, very good hand feel to it, and it's a low profile reel too. I mean, as you can see, let me get this sort of focus in there. There we go. Low profile, real good hand feel, real easy to palm, and it's going to be real easy to fish all day. And I've actually had the other one out and fished it for several days. Really comfortable to use that all day with. So we'll start over here with the star drag. And the star drag on this, if you listen, it has the audible clicks, which I really like. And here's why. Because if you decide you want to play with the drag a little bit, instead of just trying to feel and guess, okay, I moved it a little tighter, a little looser, I can say I went 3 clicks back. Like that, or 3 clicks forward. So it gives you that audible click that you can say, I want to move it up or down, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks, backwards the same. Then you have your tension knob on the side, and if you're not familiar with the parts of a bait caster, this tension knob is really going to be where you use it to adjust it to the lure weight, what type of lure you're using. What's unique about the Accurist tension knob is it also has a audible click. So I find that super helpful that this has an audible click on this tension knob, and here's why. Like this past weekend, I was fishing a 1/2 ounce chatterbait, and then when I switched over and started throwing a 1/4 ounce spinnerbait, I knew that all I had to do was click it back 3 notches, 3 times from the chatterbait to the spinnerbait, and it's dead on where I need it to be. I can cast all day long and I don't get backlashes. And it's not that I'm some fantastic, phenom with a bait caster. It's just that once I tune in this tension knob, and then over here on this side, the magnetic cast control, which I'll try and give you a good look at that, and you can see it goes from basically 0 to 10 on the side here. You can fine tune it with that, and we're going to get into more of that here in just a second. As far as the clutch on it goes, or the thumb bar, super smooth on this. It engages firmly and then releases very easily. So it's got no play in it. And that's been a case on some of the bait casters that I've reviewed here before, where it'll jiggle up and down or left and right. You can hear it. There's none of that on this. Very tight. There's no back play also in the handle, so it's got that true anti-reverse. When it locks in solid. So when I'm setting the hook, I don't get any back play in that handle that could cause that hook to give or mean to get a bad hook set, or worst off, no hook set at all. Something else we'll get to, or I'll show you guys here on the right side of the reel, that's kind of old school on this. It has a flip and switch. So you flip the switch down, then the thumb bar does not engage, so you can flip with it. I like this feature. I don't flip a ton, but when I do, I find this feature very useful. Also for guys that do vertical jigging, things like that, whether it be freshwater or saltwater, this is a very neat feature to have as far as the flip and switch goes. Okay guys, now I talked a second ago about the magnetic cast control here, 0 to 10. You can fine tune your lures with that, but also underneath here, there's a small switch right here. See if we can get that to focus in. And if you hit this small little lever right down here and push the side plate down, now you can see the side plate has swung off the body. And this is a one-piece machined aluminum body here. So one-piece frame on it. Really like that too. But here is the side plate right here off. And then the spool pops right out. And it is a baffled spool. In other words, it's got some vent holes in it, and the only reason they normally do that is just takes some weight off the reel. And if I didn't mention before, the weight on this reel is 7.5 ounces, so very light reel, less than 8 ounces, so less than a half a pound on this whole setup here. So now I'll reassemble this. Super easy on the reassembly. The spool shaft just goes right down in there, sets down in there like so, and then the side plate just goes right back on the top, clicks into place like that, and you're set. The line capacity also, it'll hold 135 yards of 12-pound test monofilament, or 170 yards of braided line in the 30-pound size. Okay guys, we get into the underside of the reel here. The reel foot, the reel seat here, very solid, very well constructed. Right into the frame by two pieces right here. Also, it looks like, if you can see down in there, the worm gear that's, kind of move that out of the way there. The worm gear that's right below the level wind seems to be a nice thick worm gear. Should do a good job on that. No problems or issues. Okay guys, we've kind of got a up close look at these and the features that they have. But what we're going to do is we're going to throw some line on this one, just like we've already got on this one, because I've actually had it out fishing already a couple times. And we're going to throw some line on this one as well. Take it out to the lake and let you guys see what it can do. All right, guys, here we are back out at the lake. We're going to get this Quantum Accurist into action here. If you wonder what I paired it with, I paired it with the Quantum Accurist 7-foot medium cranking rod. It's actually a shallow water cranking rod. Right now I've got a 3/8 ounce jig tied onto it, and that's just for the sake of having something that's not going to catch a bunch of air, like a chatterbait, a spinnerbait, or even a crankbait if it's lighter. I want something that's kind of moderately weighted, not a 1/4 ounce or a half or heavier, something kind of right in the middle, so we can hopefully get a true estimate on the casting distance on this. I can tell you, I did have the other Accurist that I've got, the green one that I showed you. I had it out fishing for a couple days last week. It did a great job. I caught one fish on it that was a little over 4.5 pounds. The drag system did great on it. The torque was fantastic, and the casting was very smooth on it. But we're going to go ahead and try out this this one. Just a different gear ratio, like I said before, is the only difference in the two colors. We're going to do a few casts with this, overhand, sidearm, maybe some roll cast, and see how far out there we can get. Okay guys, first we're just going to do a two-handed sidearm cast. And that thing's way out there. I'm going to say that's a solid 130 feet, something like that. Okay guys, now we're just going to do just a kind of that standard overhand two-handed cast. And also, if you're wondering what kind of line I decided to spool this up with, it is 12-pound test P-line CX. So it is a fluorocarbon coated line, and that's what I put on here for this application, and what I'll start fishing with it here this summer. Two-hand overhand cast, once again, honestly did outstanding. All right guys, and we'll give it a little one-handed roll cast here. That's way out there too.
Okay guys, I just wanted to give you an idea of what this reel can do. You know, that casting here, really smooth on that long cast, and I'm throwing a 1/2 ounce chatterbait with a Zaco trailer. Hook into a nice bass here. It's about 3 1/4 is what I think this fish ended up weighing. You'll see I'll use my index finger right there to tighten up the star drag on it, just because I didn't have it quite tweaked yet where I wanted it. But you know, that's the thing. This is the first time I'd really fished with this reel, and ended up catching quite a few bass that morning, and quite a few nice ones too, like this fish. And I'll tell you, like I say, the retrieve on it, very smooth, and the handle very comfortable. The reel itself is comfortable to palm in your hand. So I think I fished that this morning with this footage here for about 4 hours. But I mean, you could do 8 or 10 hours with this reel and not really have any hand fatigue. But once again, like I say, the action on the reel, as far as the clutch, the casting, then the retrieve, very smooth. All in all, really happy with the performance of this reel on the water for sure.
Okay guys, final thoughts on this Quantum Accurist reel. I'm really impressed with it. It has a lot of features you don't normally find on reels with this price point. It's got the audible click on the tension control knob. It's got the flipping switch, whether you use that for vertical jigging or if you're actually going to use it as a flipping switch. It's actually sealed inside as well, that they say you can use it in salt water. I do go down there and fish on the Gulf a couple times a year. Probably won't use this particular one. I've got some ones that are a little bit bigger for that. But the profile on this reel is fantastic for fishing all day. Not a lot of hand and wrist fatigue in it for sure. I'm just really impressed with this reel at this price point. I think it's one that they could actually sell for 130, 150 bucks, maybe a little bit more. So anyway, that's my final thoughts on the Quantum Accurist. I'm impressed on it. Thumbs up. I will also come back at the end of the fall. I'll fish all the rest of the summer, all through fall, right till winter ice up. And I will come back and give you guys another assessment on this once I've had more time on the water with it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video today. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. And also, if you subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell notification button down below. That way you can get notified each time I upload a new video to YouTube. Don't forget to also hit the like button. I really appreciate that as well. If you got any ideas and stuff you'd like to see, please let me know down in the comments. I'll try and get those videos out there for you guys as well. And remember, until that next video, get out there and fish.